we're live now, and I'd like to welcome Margo Wickersham of Clearwater Healthcare with EXP Realty. And she's got some big announcements. She's fresh off of EXP Con out in Vegas, where they made some big announcements. EXP Healthcare is already awesome, and from what I hear, it's now even better. So I'm going to give the floor to Margo. Tell a little bit about yourself for the people that don't know you. And I think most people have either seen you or know you at some level from being around. But let's hear what's new. We're excited.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I'm Margo Wickersham, and I head up the strategic partnership between Clearwater Benefits and EXP to deliver EXP Agent Healthcare. And I am a proud charter member of getting to kick this relationship off back 2 whole years ago at EXPCon 2019. Seems like 5 years ago now.
Really?
And it's been nothing but great the whole time. And we are growing at the same pace that you guys are. And it is so exciting. Our cultures are really well aligned. We were also virtual before it was cool. We are also very tech forward driven. We're very leadership and service led in our approach. So we never stop innovating. So you don't ever sit back and go, well, we've got that figured out. We're just going to put that on autopilot. You just don't ever do that. When you are a company or you're working with a company that is disrupting an industry, you're going to have a target on your back eventually. So you've got to keep improving, keep disrupting, keep finding new and better ways to do things. So we work beautifully together that way. So what I'd like to do is share my screen.
You should be able to.
Go to here.
Perfect. I could see it.
Okay. There we go. There's a picture of me. And as you can see, actually, my hair is growing out. My hair is doing every day is an adventure. I don't know what it's going to do. So there's something different always happening. So it is really great to have hair. After fighting cancer last year, the reason it's short is because I went through a cancer battle, which I am fortunate enough to have won, and glad to be growing some hair back. So that's very fortunate for me. Some of the people who are watching may have heard me talk about my story. I'm going to touch on it a little bit here.
Yeah,
the main thing I want to do, the main thing I want to do here is a little bit of a review for anybody who's new or not aware of how fantastic EXP Agent Healthcare is, not only for individuals, but also for agent attraction as part of the growth strategy. And then I want to share with everybody the big announcement that we made at EXPCon and what that means to you. I'm also going to deliver a script, a 1-line question that you can use to leverage healthcare as a strategy for opening the door, talking to new agents. And then I'll give you links and resources for where you can go to either get a quote for yourself or send people you're talking to. And then I can take questions as well. How's that sound?
Sounds fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Okay, all right. Oops. So that's not what I meant to do. Okay, why? Well, tech difficult. There we go. Okay, the arrow key was needed another cup of coffee, I think. So our goals are to deliver a lot of value to EXP agents for healthcare. We want to help 3 things. We've got 3 goals. We want to help agents save money on their monthly costs. That's the most expensive thing that people have, second to their mortgage in a lot of cases. So this is a big problem for agents, and we know that. So we want to help bring those premiums down, save you money on your premiums. The second thing that we want to do is upgrade your access to networks of doctors and hospitals and providers. Those have been shrinking. We want to reverse that and provide broader access to providers. The third thing we want to do is reduce the risk of out-of-pocket expenses. And these have gotten higher and higher, and the risk is higher, the amounts are higher that people are exposed to. It is kind of runaway inflation with health insurance, because what happens is you have an out-of-pocket max, you have a deductible. Let's say you're on a Blue Cross plan and you've got a $7,000 deductible, a $7,000 out-of-pocket max. Let's say you're on a really great plan. You've got a state-sponsored plan maybe. And then one day you have an event. Maybe you have a little mini stroke. You drop to the pavement. Somebody calls 911. They whisk you off to the hospital in an ambulance. They do not ask you which hospital to take you to, because that is not part of what happens. And you end up at the hospital. They save your life. The stroke is dealt with, and now you're good and healthy. You go home and start receiving bills, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not part of your out-of-pocket maximum, not part of your deductible because they weren't in network. So that's what we mean by reducing the out-of-pocket risk. The same thing can happen on a smaller scale if you are having a surgery. Let's take a shoulder replacement surgery. Maybe you know what you're doing and you check on your surgeon and your surgery center to make sure that they are in network and you're like good to go. You've already met your deductible. You know this is going to be covered. And the surgery goes fine. You get home, you're doing your physical therapy, and the bills start rolling in, and the anesthesiologist wants $3,000. How is that possible? It's possible because no one asked you if you wanted an anesthesiologist in network or out of network. And so you ended up with an anesthesiologist that somebody chose that wasn't you, and they aren't in network, and you owe all that money. So these are surprise bills that we want to avoid. So that's what we think about.
I think that's really, really important because, it's not something we do every day, obviously. So we don't even know the questions to ask. We think, we're going to the professionals and the people that do this every day, like we're going to be in good hands. And that's not always the case. They just, do what they need to do, and they're not worried about working out your situation. So those are some great points.
Yeah, they really are. And we want to make sure that we equip you guys with how to advocate for yourself. And you do need to advocate for yourself, and you are worth advocating for. I think we have a tendency to see the white coat and go, oh, I trust you implicitly. Not that doctors are bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that we need to be informed about how to get the best care, no matter what plan we're on. And so I'm going to share some tips with you, like always ask, who's going to be in the room and is going to send me a bill? Ask that when you have a procedure or a surgery. And they can't lie to you then. They can't say, only these two people. They will have to answer that question. And then it's in your arms and your hands to figure out if you want to research and find somebody in network. So always ask that question. So the way we deliver on those three goals is by offering a deep and broad array of resources. We're subject matter experts in all things healthcare and health insurance, just like EXP agents are subject matter experts in real estate. So leverage us, lean on us. We're here to help. And whenever I ask agents, how would you describe the process of shopping for health insurance? I always get answers that are negative because no one likes doing it. It's boring, it's overwhelming, it's confusing. There's terms that, they have words you recognize, but meanings that are fuzzy, like co-insurance. Does that mean I'm the co or you're the co? It's very, what's deductible, what's out-of-pocket max, all those things. So we like to just make it easy for you and provide, first of all, a consultation. I'm going to grab a link here and I can drop that in the chat. We have a team of amazing consultants who love to help. They love to help agents. So I'm typing it into the chat. There it is. You can book a call and get an agent to chat with you, not an agent, a consultant to chat with you about your household's needs, and they can help you do a side-by-side comparison. So if there is a plan that you have access to, or that you're already on, or that you're considering either through maybe your spouse's employer, or maybe you have a part-time job that you're keeping for benefits, we can help you do a compare and contrast and see which one's best. So that's available to you. We also have the website. Let me type that in there as well. And that's expagent healthcare.com. And you can look at some plan information there if you're not ready to talk to somebody. And you can watch videos from that show EXPAgentHealthcare.com. Right? No, there we go. EXP agents telling their stories, their experiences about working with EXP Agent Healthcare. You can do that. And then I'm really proud of this. The team is deep. And when we talk to people and we get them enrolled in a plan, there's service available to them afterwards. And that's pretty rare. We don't see that a lot, that level of service. You're kind of on your own. They just sort of toss you into the deep end, it seems like. And we know it's hard. And we want to make this easier. So that is what we do. You might be curious. What do most people end up getting? And most EXP agents choose one of the Clearwater plans. I myself am on one of the Clearwater plans. It's a category of plans. I won't go into a lot of detail. If you have a call with the consultants, you can see they'll help explain to you. But at a top level, there's kind of two paths. There's one that is HSA eligible, so you can contribute to an HSA, a health savings account. That's the IRS vehicle that gives you a triple tax saving. You don't have to have one. You can use one you've already got. You can enroll in one as you enroll in the plan, but it's the least expensive plan. Then there's another path that we call the copay, and this has copays for specialists and copays for diagnostics and MRIs and x-rays, urgent care, that kind of thing. About 85% of EXP agents choose one of those plans. About 10% of agents that we talk to end up choosing a traditional major medical plan. And by that, I mean Blue Cross or Cigna or United Healthcare. Now, these are more expensive. And so that's why it's a low amount, but they are a better fit for some people. For example, if they're in the middle of a health medical treatment and it's pretty expensive, there's some limitations with the Clearwater plans that aren't going to be a good fit for people who are in the middle of an expensive treatment plan or treatment regimen. Again, another reason why talking to a consultant to get the lowdown on that is a great idea. And then about 5% of the time we talk to agents, we'll say, you know what, that's actually the best plan. You should stay right there. Call us again in a year. So I'm really proud of that reputation that we can really do the best thing for agents, whether we help them enroll or not. So what's the big announcement? Because that all sounds pretty good, right? Well, the big announcement, this is so exciting, is that now, as of January 1st, whether you're already enrolled in a Clearwater plan or you begin enrolling and you have a new plan as of January 1st, you get to see any doctor you want to across the country. This is unheard of. I do not know of another plan where this is the case. One of the biggest headaches, like EXP, we're constantly listening to what our customers, EXP agents, tell us they're most concerned about or they'd like us to improve. And the number one thing is increasing access to more doctors. So up until now, that has been on a PPO network. It's just a nationwide network that a lot of plans use, and it has probably 60 to 70% of the doctors participate. But here's something that's been happening. Doctors and providers have been deciding to no longer participate in insurance plans and networks because it takes so long to get paid, 6 months on average, and they get paid less. So a lot of them are moving to cash pay, self-pay. So they are saying, well, tell you what, you pay me and then you can file your own insurance because this is so expensive, so time consuming. So what's happening is the networks are becoming more problematic, and that's the case across all insurance plans. You go to a website, you see that that doctor is on your network, and then you call to verify and they go, yeah, we're not in that network anymore. So this is a systemic issue. Well, this solves that problem completely because it doesn't matter. You can go to any doctor that you want to. It's huge. Really surprised by this.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important because I know that's a big problem with people not being able to choose the people they want to go to, maybe that they've been with for a long time, they trust, or it's convenient or whatever it may be. the system is dictating them. They're not dictating the system, so to speak. But another big thing that overall, the partnership with Clearwater and EXP, I think what people need to understand is it's a partnership, and that partnership is very important, because if Clearwater does not do a good job or stand behind the things that they say they're doing, this partnership would never work, because it would do, agents, we're all agents and we all talk. And if it didn't work and it wasn't going great like it is, it would clearly, and quickly crash and burn. And it's been going completely the opposite way. It's been just spreading and getting big accolades, and people are impressed by it. So this is even, making it a step better, and it's a big deal. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, does every single person have a perfect 100% ideal experience? No, there are hiccups, and it is not whether you can eliminate them completely, because issues are going to happen. It's how do you handle them? So we've had a handful, and as a percentage, it's very low. It's extremely low. It's way below industry. But the key is to get in there and help solve the problem and be an advocate with the agent to get the resolution. We work for the agents, not for the carriers. So we advocate on behalf of each agent and their families. And so that just makes it's the way to do things. It's just the right way to do things. And it's the right way to do things if you want to keep your partnership going. So we're honored working with EXP.
And on that point, I've been, many times on different calls for insurance, and, 90% of the things they're saying, you either don't know what they mean, and they're not really explaining them well. You're like, well, is that good? Is that average? Is that I don't know what I don't know. I don't do this every day. Right. And a lot of times they're gonna sell you what they need to sell you, and you get what you get. And then you find out the hard way later on, whereas, like I mentioned, and you just restated it, is it's a partnership, and it's got to work both ways, and you guys work for us. And they'll clearly give you an understanding of what you're doing and what you get, and if it it's going to work out the right way, because it's partnership. So
right, it's a true two-way partnership. That's right. Well, and on that note, our next big announcement is that we're taking the concierge service to a whole nother level. Right now, we do have a concierge team. Second biggest issue that we've heard from agents on the EXP Agent Healthcare Plans are that it can be confusing to know what to do next when you need to make an appointment to see a doctor and you need to use the plan. Do I call Teladoc? How do I do that? Because we've got a lot of different services wrapped up into the Clearwater options, and it can be a little hard to know what to do. Now, you don't have to know anything at all. You don't need to remember what you signed up for. All you need to do is call the concierge service and say, I need to do this. What do I do? Hold my hand, spoon feed me. And I love this. One stop, that's it. There's one step. You call them. And it's great.
Yeah. As I mentioned, this is obviously not something we do every day. And you mentioned earlier, it's not exciting, it's not boring, but it's very important when it becomes important. So it's important to have someone in your corner, and this is great to be able to just say, all right, I don't need to know. Let me just get in touch with concierge service, and they'll tell me where to go and what to do. That's great. Love it.
They will. And again, unheard of. I do not know of another plan that does this. I certainly don't know of any plans that are available to individuals, self-employed people like realtors. And as a reminder, we have an exclusivity agreement with EXP, and we don't talk to the other big national brokerages. We don't. So Keller Williams, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Berkshire Hathaway, Compass, Real, any of them. There's a handful of regional companies that we were working with before we met EXP, like JPAR. They have about 3,000 agents. But once we started working with EXP, we shut down any additional relationships. And so we are exclusive to EXP. So this is a unique advantage that you guys have. And so because it is a unique advantage and because it's become an agent attraction strategy, which we did not know it was going to become, that's just what happened. It's so valuable. People started using it to bring more over. We've got an agent attraction toolkit available, which I am going to share with you. I think, there we go. Oh, I wanted to showcase some just costs if you're not insured, what it can cost for various things. So I'm going to drop into the chat the Agent Attraction Toolkit link. And that is where you can go. It just takes you to a Google Drive where you can access all of the assets that we've got. So there's slides, there's PDFs, flyers, videos, social media posts, and even campaigns that you can just download turnkey. You can brand them yourselves and use them. So that's all there for you. But just to get an idea, if you're uninsured, you're going to pay. I mean, I had bladder cancer last year, and that is what actually the bill was more than. I was $400,000 by the end of it. I'm only out $1,000, and I'm on our HSA plan. Wow. So and then the sky's the limit on a lot of healthcare things. I mean, ankle surgery. This is another Clearwater employee who had a little minor ankle surgery, and he would have paid $13,000 out of pocket, but he had a good plan and he paid $1,000. So it goes on and on. The cost can be just exorbitant. So we don't like seeing people on no plan. We do like making sure they have something in case. So what does the average EXP agent experience when they're enrolled in a Clearwater plan? Well, the average savings is $8,000 a year. That's just on the monthly premium. For those of you who saw the awards ceremony last week, was that just last week? Oh my gosh, seems like 3 weeks ago now. Matt Battiata won the #1 independent agent award, and he wanted to dedicate it to EXP Agent Healthcare because he's saving, drumroll, $24,000 a year just in premium savings. He's in California. It's expensive out there. He was paying $3,000 a month for his family. He's got 5 kids, and that's expensive. So now he's on one of the Clearwater plans, saving $2,000 a month. Unbelievable. So, I mean, that's not average, but 8,000 is. And before, our network for doctors was this nationwide network, and now it's completely open. Go to whoever you want to. Really tremendous. And then we see out-of-pocket savings. Now going back to when we were talking about the problems with networks and the limitations and the kind of gotchas that are built into like ER visits or even surgeries where you don't know somebody's in the room billing you out of network. That all goes away because there's no network. It's just go to whomever you want. It removes the biggest problem altogether. So it's really awesome. So yeah, it is. So how is healthcare becoming an attraction strategy? I think the key is to acknowledge what a big problem this is for so many people. It doesn't get better every year. It actually gets worse. Healthcare does not get less expensive. It doesn't get broader. It's just getting worse. We can't fix the whole problem, but we can help a lot of agents get better access to better plans. So what that means is when you look at quantifying what percentage of agents are really suffering, this is helpful. So you see that a little more than a third are on a major medical plan, like on the exchange, health insurance plans like Blue Cross or Aetna, and they are pricey. That's what Matt Battiata's family was on. So that means in most cases, we'll be able to save them money. Another little more than a third are on a plan through their partner or their spouse. And maybe it's also a part-time job, one or both of them have, just for benefits. We've seen that a lot. So opportunity to shift your focus all the way to real estate full-time, because now the cost of health insurance is lower than you thought. So it allows people to shift to full-time, which is awesome. And sometimes even a spousal or employer plan that you're on they vary. It might be a good plan for you. It might not. It just depends on what the employer chose. And then another almost third are completely uninsured because it's so expensive. So that shows you in a nutshell how pervasive this is across the, what is it, 1.5 million agents in the US? That's a lot of people struggling with health insurance. And just how much are they struggling? Well, 2/3 of bankruptcies come from medical bills. That doesn't surprise anyone, but the next number does. 60% of those had health insurance, and it didn't protect them from financial ruin or disaster. So that's the financial qualification. Then you look at the physical impact. More than half of surgeries and procedures are unnecessary or out of date. I mean, Craig, do you want an unnecessary or out of date procedure?
No, thank you.
Me neither. And 70% of cancer diagnoses are wrong. Mine was. I went to a good doctor with a great reputation here in Austin, Texas. It's not a tiny town. We have 2 million people. But when I got the second opinion, I went to the people who see the most of the kind of cancer I had. And they went, hey, wait a minute. You also have this second form of cancer that only occurs in 1% of the kind of cancer that you have. Great, not the 1% I was going for. And they said, and also that kind is 100% fatal. It's 100% recurring, and we have to do everything. Completely different treatment regimen. Had I not gotten that second opinion and gone to the best doctors, I wouldn't be here today, because they said you'd have 12 months. And that was 18 months ago.
That's a completely insane statistic to me. And
yes,
I've heard your story a couple of times, and it's just, it's incredible that that number is that big. And, thank God you did get that second opinion. And I know that Clearwater allows that second opinion, right? That's
right.
Part of their program.
It is built into the Clearwater Plans, absolutely. And here's another tip. One of my tips before was ask who's going to be in the room for the procedure and send me a bill. My second tip is get a second opinion if you get a new diagnosis or a recommendation for a procedure or surgery, because of these two statistics. So whether you have to pay for it or not, it's totally worth it. What's the worst that happens? You get confirmation that you're in the 30%. That's good.
Right.
That's peace of mind. So highly recommend a second opinion, even if your plan doesn't pay for it. So I mentioned before that none of the other big brokerages nationwide have really anything to speak of meaningful in the way of health insurance plans, because it's hard. Our country is based on employer group level plans, and by definition, 1099 self-employed people don't have access to those. So that's why it's been difficult for real estate agents. So this will show you that all these other companies just have, maybe they have a portal or they have access to they don't have their own plans. It's just really hard to do. They could do it, but kind of like other companies could do the model that EXP is, but they don't. Other health insurance brokerages could, I suppose, do what we're doing, but nobody is. So for right now,
I think it's important for people to know, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the marketplace plans, what they are they're plans that basically they say, yes, we have insurance, and they advertise that they have insurance, but they just feed you through a link, a portal in it, and it's basically just someone else's plan. It's just they're referring you basically,
right.
But they're taking credit for the referral. It's
right.
not really a true plan through them. It's not a partnership.
There's not anything unique about it. Yeah, you could absolutely, it's not a discount because the marketplace, which is healthcare.gov or whatever the state marketplace is, don't allow that. And so anybody can go, and it doesn't matter where you come from once you get there. So exactly. And then NAR has something, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, but what I've heard from every single agent who's ever gotten a price quote there is that it is nowhere close to the savings and the breadth of coverage that the Clearwater plans are. But then associations aren't usually at the forefront of innovation. It's a big organization, so that doesn't surprise anyone, I don't think. So what we're seeing is we didn't set out to position healthcare as a competitive attraction strategy, but here's what's happened. We've seen so many stories. We have people crying and telling us about how they save $55,000. A 20-something-year-old. I got a new video I can't wait to release. It's Melanie Ginsburg. She's here in Austin. She's 28, I think. She and her fiance got on the ball and got the plan. They're really healthy. They didn't expect anything to happen, but appendicitis is like that. It comes out of the blue. There you are. And she thought, oh, this is not going to be covered. It's, but it was. She saved $50,000.
Wow.
There's so many stories like that. So it's truly helping to change lives. It changed my life. It saved my life. And
Right, yeah.
so it's not overstating it, So we've got all these benefits, the concierge service, and now the expanded network. There's all these plan options, average savings. So it's a very powerful offer. It's like in some ways giving new agents a raise, because if you can save $8,000 a year, that's putting $8,000 back in their pocket. That's saving whatever their tax rate is times $8,000. So what is $10,000 they don't have to earn? It's pretty awesome. All right, so here's I promised to give you a script or a question that you can use. And here it is. Actually, Kathy on your team shared this with me. Okay. Kathy, what is her name?
Kathy Burns?
Yes, Kathy Burns. Yes, okay. This was her bright idea. If there was a way you could save hundreds or thousands on health insurance and get better care, would you want to learn more?
Yeah, love it.
Such a great question, right? It's a way to open the door, especially you can find out by asking if health insurance is important to them. You can also use it as a way to start a conversation with somebody who's maybe got EXP model talk fatigue. Yeah. Gives you a new way in. All right, so the Agent Attraction Toolkit, I already shared that link. There's all kinds of collateral, and there's a couple of videos I'm not going to play, but you can go look at them. Social media posts. So I'm just kind of highlighting some of the things that are in there and coming back to that we're here to help. And the way to get the help is to click on that Agent Toolkit link. Also to visit us on the website at expagенthealthcare.com. Also, there is a group on workplace healthcare group. So find us there. And you can always track me down on Workplace. I'm there as well. So Craig, can you think of anything else I can answer?
Well, I mean, that is a great overview. I love the announcements. It's a big deal. For those people that are watching live on the Impact group right now, I will post the links in the group under this video in the comments. You can also find these links. I have, I think, one or two of them already on our website, which is impactgroupworldwide.com. If you go to resources, when you scroll down on the homepage, so just go to impactgroupworldwide.com, scroll down a little bit to the resource link, go to resources, and then you'll see all the different resources. Healthcare is in there. I will put this recording on that section as well. I have the recording we did a couple months. I will replace that one with this one. And I will put these links in that area as well, so that we always have access to them in that impactgroupworldwide.com website resources area.
That's great. Awesome. Well, great to see you and visit with you and share some more good news with you and your community. And Craig, let me know if there's ever anything else I can do for you and EXP agents. Let me know. Oh, I know one of the things I wanted to chime in, because I just kind of learned this again by accident at EXPCon. I had some attractors invite me to talk with them and brokerages that they are looking to attract. And we're available to help with that conversation. So you can bring us in either a Zoom or we can have a phone call. Just consider us another resource to bring us in as a third party to talk about healthcare if you feel like that might be important. This can be a retention tool as well as an attraction tool. And that seems to be very helpful for brokerages looking to bring as many of their agents over as possible to EXP.
Fantastic. We'll take you up on that for sure at some point, I'm sure. So
Great.
Thank you so much, Margo. Have a great day. And as always, thanks for giving some great nuggets, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. Have a good one. Bye.